The quiet morning passes through the old stone room, where sorrow has lingered for 3 whole weeks. Afterwards, Daniel sits quietly in the dim light, his mind directed toward the words of revelation. At that moment, a dazzling flash of light suddenly appears, illuminating the gloomy and dark space. Right then, Daniel trembles and falls before the majestic power of the angel who has just appeared. Gradually, the angel reaches out to touch his lips, granting him strength to stand firm once again. A little later, invisible forces are fiercely battling outside, guarding the miraculous vision. During that time, Daniel slowly stands up. His face, though thin, is now filled with an intense faith. As evening gently falls, he quietly reflects upon the great battle he has witnessed. Finally, night blankets the small room, leaving a miraculous stillness in the land of Persia. The gentle morning begins on the banks of the vast Tigris River, where the misty veil embraces the peaceful waters. Afterwards, Daniel stands quietly in the early morning breeze, his mind directed toward a profound and wondrous mystery. At that time, his companions suddenly feel a strange spiritual presence, turning pale and beginning to panic. Right then, overwhelming terror strikes, causing them to flee in haste, leaving the quiet space behind them. Gradually, the sky shifts abruptly, radiating a dazzling halo like the gates of heaven. A majestic being appears amidst the brilliant light, clothed in a supernatural beauty hard to put into words. A little later, Daniel looks up in utter astonishment, overwhelmed by a body shining like precious jewels. During that moment, majesty radiates from eyes of blazing fire and a form gleaming like burnished bronze. At the same time, his strength fails him, his face turning pale from the profound terror of mortal existence. Slowly, a voice echoes like the roar of a multitude, causing him to fall face down on the dry ground. As the morning passes, the angel gently touches his lips, granting him the strength to revive. And then, filled with divine energy, he slowly stands up, trembling yet steadfast in his faith. When his innermost soul settles into stillness, he understands the battle among the angels in the heavens. Under Daniel's gaze, the forces of darkness are driven back before that powerful presence. After that precious spiritual feast, he receives the revelation concerning the future of the holy nation of Israel. As evening falls gently, the dazzling light gradually fades away, leaving an extraordinary peace within him. Finally, he sits down by the deserted riverbank, contemplating what he has witnessed in the great vision. The Tigris River continues to flow quietly beneath the sunset, forever marking the moment of divine encounter.
The dawn dyes the calm surface of the river pink, marking the beginning of an extraordinary and miraculous encounter. After long days of fasting, Daniel's weak body lies prostrate amidst a state of ultimate trembling. Suddenly, a mighty heavenly hand touches him, lifting up his broken soul. When his strength is restored, he stands upright in absolute awe before the boundless, exalted presence. The one bearing the message from God shines as brightly as lightning, illuminating the entire space. At that moment, the angel gently calls him greatly beloved, dispelling the fear that has enveloped him. Afterwards, the angel recounts the intense battle that lasted for 21 whole days and nights. During that time, Michael, the chief prince, timely comes to his aid, breaking the siege of darkness. Gradually, the secret regarding the obstruction by the ruler of the kingdom of Persia becomes clear before Daniel's eyes. A little later, the angel affirms that his humble heart and prayer have reached the heavens. As the light spreads, the prophetic visions concerning the future of the nation begin to unfold clearly. And then, the presence of God envelops Daniel, causing him to kneel down in absolute reverence. Finally, the heavenly messenger slowly prepares to depart after delivering the precious message in full. As the morning passes, he sits quietly by the riverside, his heart filled with peace and steadfast faith. The scenery gradually sinks into stillness, leaving the lingering resonance of the sacred vision in the gentle approaching night. Silent mourning blankets the riverbank, where spiritual mist lingers as if shielding something sacred. Afterwards, Daniel lies prostrate on the ground, his whole body trembling from terror and physical exhaustion. At that moment, a figure in human form appears, gently touching his lips to grant new life. Right then, breath begins to return, and strength is infused into his aching body. Gradually, he utters faint, choked pleas, filled with reverence for the one standing before him. A little later, the radiant majesty of the angel makes the entire space glow in awe. Finally, he stands upright by grace, holding fast to his faith amidst the mysterious and powerful vision. As the morning passes, a gentle breeze stirs the water, restoring the natural tranquility to the scenery. And then, all sounds gradually fade into silence, leaving only the sacred imprint lingering deep within the soul.
Early in the morning, a cold mist blankets the silent riverbank, where the grand vision begins to awaken. After strict days of fasting, Daniel's body trembles, collapsing entirely before the sacred presence. At that moment, a heavenly hand touches him, transmitting strength to make Daniel stand upright with courage. The exalted angel appears in brilliant splendor, his light shining like a torch, bringing divine comfort. Mid-air, a crack in time reveals the Book of Truth, where fierce spiritual battles are taking place. Beneath the angel's gaze, the dark forces of ancient kingdoms are rising to vie for power. In the decisive moment, Michael, the chief prince, arrives, together with the angel clothed in linen to break every barrier. Daniel looks toward the angel, his heart opening to great revelations concerning the future of humanity. Right then, those who accompanied him flee in terror, sensing the extraordinary presence without seeing the vision. And then, fear dissipates, leaving only steadfast faith amidst the stormy waves of human kingdoms. As the dawn gradually breaks, the angel departs once again to continue the conflict against hostile forces. Finally, the space returns to stillness, leaving Daniel with a heart full of courage for the future to come.
I have witnessed the ages unfold, yet the tapestry of existence continues to weave its intricate patterns.
In the third year of Cyrus, the Persian king, a revelation comes on a heavy wing. A vision of a warfare great and true, unveiling the things that the nations will do. For 3 full weeks I was mourning in pain. No choice food or meat did my body sustain. No wine touched my lips, no oil on my head, as I walk through the days with a spirit of dread. By the great Tigris River on the 24th day, I lifted my eyes as the mist rolled away, and there stood a man in a garment of white, girded in gold of Upas burning bright. His body like beryl, his face like the flash of lightning that strikes with a thunderous crash. His eyes were like torches, his voice like a crowd, rejoicing across the waters, heavy and loud. Oh, look through the curtain curtain, see the war in the sky, where the princes of darkness and angels fly. Stand upright and fear not, O servant of light, the truth will be spoken. In the depth of the night. I was left all alone, for the others had fled. They trembled in terror and hid in their dread. My strength turned to weakness, my face pale as death, as I fell to the ground, losing all of my breath. But a hand touched my body, it set me to stand on my knees and my palms in that desolate land. He said, Daniel, oh Daniel, you are greatly loved. Hear the words that are sent from the heavens above. Do not fear, for your prayer was heard from day one, when you humbled your soul till the setting of sun. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia stood strong, withstanding my path for 21 long. But Michael the chief came to help in the fight, and I broke through the dark with the armor of light. Now I come to explain what the future will bring to the sons of your people. Under prophecy's wing. I bowed to the ground, I was silent and mute, overcome by the glory so grand and absolute. Then one like the sons of men touched my cold lips, and my voice was restored from the shadow's eclipse. I said, Lord, I am weak and no breath does remain. How can your servant speak through this pain? Then he touched me again, and he poured in the might, saying, Peace be unto you.
I am the beginning and the end. Behold
be
my
strong
power, and know
in
that you
the
are judged.
fight. Oh, look through the curtain, see the war in the sky, where the princes of darkness and angels fly. Stand upright and fear not, O servant of light, the truth will be spoken. In the depths of that
My Lord, I am ready.
Now I must return to the battleground space, to fight with the prince of the Persian race. And when I am gone, see the Grecian will rise, to battle the truth underneath the dark sky. But I will announce what the book has unsealed, the truth of the ages that must be revealed. Amen. Amen.
Dawn gradually breaks along the Tigris River, bringing an atmosphere of stillness and mysterious sanctity. Afterwards, Daniel stands firm by the riverside, his face glowing with hope as the halo gradually fades away. At that moment, the chief angels hold their ground in the invisible battle, protecting the destiny of the mortal world. Gradually, the authoritative assertions in the Book of Truth kindle a powerful flame of faith. A little later, the support of the Archangel Michael grants him incomparable courage. And then, the spiritual veil closes, leaving behind a peaceful space imbued with enduring divine grace. The beginning of the vision is a colossal historical sandbox, where conflicting rays of light trace the eternal flow. Afterwards, by the silent river, Daniel, exhausted, collapses in utter terror when facing supernatural authority. At that moment, from within the brilliant light, the exalted angel appears, bringing encouragement to his servant. Gradually, images of the struggle for power between the two sides begin to emerge, filled with blood and tears in history. As the morning passes, touching the servant's lips, the angel grants strength for him to stand upright and listen to the message. Finally, as the evening shadows fall, the vision of the destroyer spreading abomination gradually fades into the mist of time. Silent mourning on the banks of the Tigris River, the vision of the flow of history, full of blood and tears, begins to unfold. After days of earnest fasting, his body trembles and exhausts itself when confronting the majesty of the heavens. At that moment, an exalted angel with brilliant majesty appears, bringing a message about the future of empires. The flow of history surges through the wars between the North and the South, where thrones crack from arrogance. And then, the heavenly breath touches parched lips, granting him the strength to stand tall before the visions. Finally, silent night blankets the riverbank, leaving the prophecy echoing amidst wondrous emptiness. Closing Daniel 10, from weakness and collapse, he was touched by grace and given the strength to stand firm amidst the spiritual warfare. The story does not stop here. We invite you to step into Daniel 11 to lift the veil of history and discover precise prophecies about earthly empires and the eternal kingdom.
If today's story has encouraged and inspired you, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your family, friends, and loved ones. Your support is a tremendous source of encouragement that motivates me to continue creating more high-quality biblical cinematic stories for everyone around the world. Thank you for being part of this journey.